Hey, if this is your first time seeing me, I am Sierra Janae. I'm sure you know that by the title of the video. But y'all, I wanted to get on here because like I promised, we're definitely going to start doing a little bit more structure, even though I'm not a structured person. But just to kind of hop straight into it, I help y'all, sorry, I'm a talker. I'm a hand talker. So I do apologize. But I got this big scar on my hand. Girl, long story. But I am a mom, a wife, and I help moms make money online. And I'm not gonna be on here long. I just wanted to kind of quickly tell you about myself and what I do and how I help moms. Hey Ju, how are you, sis? Thank you, sis. How you doing today? Hey, I just dropped the update. It's about to go crazy, Ju. Make sure you check it out. I just dropped Mama Bot inside of the community. But I help moms make money online. I got started with digital products, y'all, last year, changed my life completely. But the thing that I really, really fell in love with was how simple and how easy it was. My upbringing and a lot of our upbringings, the way that we come up is a lot of people think that, making money gotta be hard. And if it's not hard, then something is wrong. I'm here to tell you, sis, that life can be easy. Making money can be easy. If honestly, you just accept it in your mind. And that's the biggest thing that I think a lot of people it holds them back, myself included. I was one of those people. Well, once I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna change the way I think. I'm gonna believe that, you know what, it is simple, it is easy, because that's what all these millionaires are saying. So if they think that way and that's who I want to be like, I just started doing that. And then I started learning about, putting systems in place, and learning how to use tools and resources that we use every day, but we don't do nothing about it. And it's crazy because I find myself, and I don't know if it's because I'm just fully invested, but like I find myself a lot of times be so irritating with moms, especially when I see so many moms who, are lonely and sad, and they're honestly just craving attention, and they're online every single day posting a status, posting on threads, complaining, doing this, doing that, when you could flip that, shift your perspective, and turn it into income for yourself, for your babies, so your life won't be miserable. You know what I mean? Like, I know y'all probably never heard nobody say it like that, but if I'm being completely honest, that's what it comes down to. The my husband is, y'all, a few years older than me, so I love our debate sometimes, because like with him being a little bit older than me, there's definitely a generational, different type of. Hey Melvin, how are you? Thank you. There's definitely a, like a, I say this to say, this generation, whether you young, old, whatever, we have access and resources to, y'all, AI, Chat GPT, all of these different tools that you can use that can really change your life. Y'all, people are creating businesses literally within 8 minutes, and it's turning them into millionaires. Why don't you want to tap into that? Why don't you want to hop into that? And I know, it can be scary. It can be a scary thought, thinking like, all these people online be making it seem like this and that, and it's just like, I'm not there. Like, baby, I done been through it all. And that's exactly why I put together my community, and why I do what I do and why I show up like how I do, is because I was someone, I said in 2026, I ain't gonna talk about my past like that, but it's important to talk about. Like, not that I'm gonna hold it, use it against me, but like, I had every odd against me. I had everything that you could think of. Baby, I didn't been through it, right? But once I decided, you know what, I am not my environment. I am not my parents. I am not where I come from. And I deserve to live the life that I want to live. And so what if people think that I'm doing too much? So what if people think that, what I'm saying, I'm crazy, I'm delusional, or whatever? Baby, I'm about to get to this bag. And again, once I changed my mindset and started thinking like that, everything changed. But when I got into digital products, I fell in love with the fact that, the key to making money with digital marketing and digital products is you got to solve people's problems, right? And if you solve a specific problem, like down to the T, then you can turn that and monetize it and make a lot of money from. So when I first got started, I had no intention of trying to help nobody. Like, I know this sounds messed up, but I had no intention of helping anybody. That was not something that I wanted to do. I was a mom who was frustrated. I was tired of feeling like, man, my husband working 2 full-time jobs. I can't cuss his ass out, even though I'll be wanting to sometimes, because he working 2 full-time jobs. So I feel guilty because he working two full-time jobs. I feel like I'm a single mom raising these kids because I'm just overwhelmed. And, and I just was like, man, God, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Like, this rat race of, living paycheck to paycheck, this can't be it, right? It can't be it. So I'm someone, who's always just tried to like, learn more information or whatever. Like I ain't afraid of a little bit of work. Okay, baby, y'all be surprised. Maybe back in the day, people don't even know this about me. Baby, I can lay drywall. I can lay some carpet. You know what I'm saying? Or hang drywall, should I say? I can lay some carpet, baby. I do a little bit of everything. Okay. If it's gonna get me paid, don't let these looks fool you, baby. I get my hands dirty. But once I was like, man, I don't know about y'all. When I would just sit back and see so many people online making all this goddamn money, I'm like, bro, like even if I could just get a quarter of what they getting, I'd be satisfied. But I'll be damned if I'm about to sit back here and just watch people and keep watching and keep watching and keep watching and keep watching. They not better than me. So let me try to do something, and try. And I tried. I spent a lot of money, wasted a lot of money, right? Definitely went down the rabbit hole of buying this course, that, da, 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 da. Baby, I'm a sucker for a good pitch. I am. But once I fell into done for you digital marketing, man, that really opened up like just my eyes and really opened up the door for me. And again, I didn't know at the time what it was going to turn into for me personally, because I just wanted to do this for myself. I just wanted to get my family in a better place. I didn't know, the vision that God was going to give me, in the midst of that. And still to this day, I'm like, God, are you, where did this come from? Are you sure? But I got started with a done for you digital marketing course, and I actually took the time to learn, y'all. That's the biggest thing. So many of us, hey, Allison, how are you? So many of us, we be in hype mode. You know how it might be a late night, 1 o'clock, you scrolling or whatever like that. You see something, you feel inspired. You like, ooh, I'm about to do it. But then come the next day, you like, okay, I got a headache. I don't want to do this shit. Should I do this shit? Is this shit really gonna work? I mean, I was hyped yesterday and I got it on a paper plan, but I'm feeling a little bit different today, right? That's completely normal. We all go through that, right? And even me, to this day, I tell people all the time, my moods change, baby, sometimes like the weather. That's just what it is, okay? That's part of being a female, a mama, whatever, right? But I actually, for once, y'all, stuck to something. And when I stuck to it, I learned it, I implemented, and I showed up every day, and I was mind blown. Literally within my first, Happy New Year's, thank you, to you as well. Is it Mystique? Hey, Mystique. So when I got started with the Done For You digital marketing course, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little skeptical. And that'd be another thing. A lot of us will start something, even though you just spent your money, even though you invested your money in it, you'll still try to like talk yourself out of it. And that is really important to really identify, become aware, and change immediately. If you change it, what's the worst thing can happen if you believe in yourself and you be like, you know what, if this shit can work for a whole bunch of other people, why it can't work for me? So that was what I decided to do. And I decided to be delusional, whatever it is that you want to call it, right? But I showed up, y'all, literally within my first 5 days of me literally following along to this Done For You digital marketing course, I made my first sale. And it was $500, which was a lot. Like, to me, that was the most money I had ever made in such a short period of time. And when I first started, y'all, I was a faceless person because I thought that was the only way that I would be successful. I thought I had to be a white girl. I ain't gonna lie, because that's all I had seen, right? I never thought that, okay, I can step into my own lane, I can be my own person, and people just gonna resonate with me. That was never the case. I went and followed everything that social media was saying, and I try to be that, you know what I mean? Because that's what I thought was winning. I made some money from it, right? But it didn't feel right, and at the time, I didn't know why. But I was like, shit, I'm getting money, so you know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep going with this. Is it Chris Della? Look. Hey, Chris. Hello from Central Coast. You are a positive and beautiful light. Thank you. What's Central Coast? It's me not knowing. But yeah, so when I made my first $500, y'all, selling somebody else's program, even then, I always go back to this feeling because, and again, I say all this, I like to be very transparent with my audience and let y'all know, because every thought that you've had, everything that you think that you may experience or whatever, trust me, I had all of those feelings plus more. So when I made my first $500, y'all, I feel so guilty. And this is so terrible because a lot of us, again, have this mindset that stems from our childhood that if you're not working hard, if you making money easy, something gotta be wrong. What you know what I mean? And then you almost are like, okay, how long is this gonna last? Is this gonna be forever? And it's like, it can be, again, if you change your mindset. So I continue to, keep making sales. I ain't gonna lie, I still thought it was, like, maybe it's a fluke. Maybe I just finally lucked up and this is a situation, but is this a real proven strategy? This is a real proven system that people can actually follow. So again, never thought about coaching anybody, never thought about mentoring. That was not my game plan, baby. I was just trying to get us in a better financial place. But then people started reaching out to me, and moms specifically would say, hey, could you help me with this? I've been having this exact same course too, and I see that you're a mom and you're, having success with it. You're getting sales. What am I doing wrong? What's the problem? And again, I ain't want I ain't want to help nobody, y'all. But God kept pushing me in the direction of like, you need to help people, you need to help people, and help moms specifically. And so I kind of fell into it. And it's so crazy because I share this story all the time on my lives, on my videos, on it. If you know me, you know. But it was just the fact that it was just so ironic to me that the people, it was like the same type of people. It was always a mom, she's literally spending her last. She's trying to figure out what to do. She's limited on time. She feels like, like Instagram is just not the, like every mom had like the same, I swear, like the same story. And I'm like, girl, I'm not aesthetic. I'm not, whatever. Because at this point, when I started mentoring, I had became face forward because, like I said, God kind of like pushed me into it because my Instagram at the time when I was doing when I was promoting just this done for you digital marketing course, I was taking the faceless route, but I wasn't, so I'm not showing my face. Nobody knew who I was. And then my page ended up getting shut down, y'all, because I was like, Instagram let them tell it, try to say I was a spammer because I was posting so much. Because girl, when I made my first $500, and I was like, baby, I ain't doing nothing but talking and reading what's on the screen and sharing, my experience and what I've gained and what my transformation have been in my journey. So I'm like, this ain't nothing, you know what I mean? So I was like, baby, I'm gonna be on here. Hey, I'm getting on live 2-3 times a day. I'm posting 5, 6, 7 times a day in my stories, all of that. And then at the time, again, Instagram was the only social media platform that I was on. But once I end up becoming face forward and stuff like that, and I started helping moms, I was like, man, this is kind of ironic that all the people that I'm helping, all the people that literally were like struggle bus, right? That literally was like, man, like I had moms that literally, and shout out to y'all know who y'all are, who literally had started in this course before I did. And then I kind of came in, didn't have no experience or whatever like that, and then kind of took off. But I actually went through the stuff, I actually went through the program, and I'm like, sis, like this is what I'm doing, whatever like that. And again, y'all, no experience of being no mentor, no experience of being no coach, nothing that I was interested in. I'm just like, hey, this is what I do. And if y'all know me and y'all know how I talk, like that's literally how I talk to you when I coach. I'm like, sis, it ain't that damn deep. This is all you gotta do. Stop overthinking it. You literally can turn your everyday moments into content and tell a story. When people see you folding clothes, when people see you doing laundry, when people seeing you not really trying to be what social media, y'all know how fake social media is, right? And you just be real. Show what your house is dirty. Show you got a pile of clothes on the couch. I guarantee you they gonna hit. And this is just me being honest, right? And every single mom that I would help and things for the ones that were serious and that was really trying to change their life and change their situation, y'all, they would just take off. They would just take off. And I'm like, damn, this is, and I've helped other people as well, men, single, not single women, but, people, non-moms, women, okay? And sorry, y'all, I'm waiting for this package to come. That's why I keep looking over here. And it just, at the time, I didn't really get it. And then kind of like later on in my journey, like maybe about 6 months into my journey, a lot of moms would just tell me like, girl, you need to create something. You need to create. And I'm like, girl, I'm doing this for myself. Like, I'll help you or whatever like that. Right. And it's so crazy because again, God, I didn't know at the time the purpose that God had put on me. And I was just like, I'm just trying to make some money. I'm just trying to make some money, And so fast forward, 9 months within my journey, y'all, I made my first 6 figures. Blown away. Was like, this is the most money I've ever seen in my life. I've literally made this money from selling someone else's product. Like, is this really what life is? I'm going to do this forever. Like that was my mindset. That was my mind frame. Y'all can go back and watch some of my old videos on my channel. I was like, girl, people be like, yeah, you need to create your own thing or whatever. I'm like, for what? We're doing this. This is passive. And I got to a point where I scaled my business where I knew I could predict my income at a point where it was like, I was going to make 10K pretty much every month. And I was someone who didn't show up a lot on social media. I would post a couple of times. I still believe in, you should post about 3 times a day or whatever like that, if I'm being honest with you. But I repurposed a lot of my content. And I was like, man, this is so easy. It's so simple. And I'm saying this, and I'm saying it more so because I was the type of person where I'm like, it's got to be hard. It's got to be difficult. And I see so many of y'all and I see so many moms who think that like there's no way that I could do this, or I'm not aesthetically enough, or I don't have the type of home to do. And I'm like, girl, get that shit out of your head, baby. All this stuff you could do can consist of free. And that's what I teach inside of my community. And that's what inspired me to create my community, because as a mom, when I had my daughter, I didn't want to send her off to daycare. One, I didn't want to pay them expensive prices. Okay, it was $485 a week. I said, "There's no way. There's no way. We got to figure something else out. $485 a week for her to go catch measles and bring home COVID. You can keep that." And I wanted to figure out a way that I could just be a present mom. And so I was like, man, digital marketing, digital products, this is where it's at. And moms need this. You know how many moms right now who are currently experiencing, getting their CCDF cut off or getting their food stamps cut off and things like that. And now you're just trying to figure out like, what next? What am I to do? Like, that's not life and that's not living. And, that was another reason what really just kind of inspired me to like, man, like, if moms learn that the phone that they have in their hand every single day could be paying them anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a day, if not more, why would they not want to do it, right? But nobody ever explained it. Nobody ever put a system together where it helps them and shows them until now. That's where I come in, okay? And that's why I built MPM. It's called the Mompreneur Method. And, I don't like to really refer to my program as a course. There are courses inside, but it really truly is a movement. You know what I mean? Again, the biggest thing that I want moms to take away, if this is your first time seeing me, or if you ever came across from me, is that life can be easy, sis. Life can be simple. Life can be soft. Life can be whatever it is that you want to be, and I literally went from being on a job that I hated, y'all. I went through so much on my job, like, y'all would not, to the point where I promise y'all one day I'm gonna have a Lifetime movie. I'm gonna have a Lifetime movie, because when I tell you, you would not believe me, the things that I went through. I went through a whole sexual harassment case on my job, literally, where I had people, y'all, spitting in my food, trying to slash my tie. It was crazy, right? I went through hell on this job. And I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, and it's crazy how everything worked and how everything kind of really like fell into place at the time, because my husband had left the job first. We actually met on the job together, and we worked there for a long time together. My husband had been there for 20 years. I was there for 11 years. And honestly, I thought I was going to be there forever because it was stability. I was, kind of slowly but surely making my way up in the company, but I was miserable. I hated it. I used to have to sleep with my laptop. My employees would make my life a living hell. And all I would ever try to do was just help, just to make my life, easier. And I'm a person that loves to over deliver. And I always, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But I just knew, I was like, man, I got to get up out of here. And everybody used to, I swear, like all of my family, all of my friends thought I was crazy. Like, girl, you going to leave your job? And that's a good job or whatever like that, and a lot of us hear that, but it's like my earning potential was capped. Yeah, I was going to make, a decent salary, but it was capped. The most I could ever make was $120,000. And that sounds good on paper, but hell, after taxes, baby, that's about $60,000, $70,000. It ain't no money. Okay. And I just honestly took a leap of faith. And, right before I started my journey, I prayed and I asked God to really lead me into this, and really just cover me and cover my business. And this was the first time, because I am a wannabe, I feel like, serial entrepreneur. I feel like a lot of moms, will try things and then we'll stop and then we'll try and then we'll stop and then we'll try and then we'll stop, try. That was me. And nothing ever sticked until digital marketing. And, I forget the saying of how they say it, but when you basically can turn your work into, or when how do you say it? Like, you can turn your job into, like, it don't feel like work. Like, what I do is not, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work, right? I love pouring into, moms and helping other moms start their journey, but I really care about, your success. Like I was just saying earlier, one thing I just recently did inside of the community is I dropped a bot that literally helps you. Like, inside of my community, there's modules that you learn from. My focus of my community is for you to focus on learning marketing, branding, because if you decide to do any side hustle there is, right, you need these skills. And I had noticed, and I had kind of set back for, I'm a big data entry type of person, maybe from my job experience, I don't know. And I just love data and stuff like that. And I had noticed that the biggest thing why I seen so many moms not being able to make sales and not be able to be successful in digital marketing was because of time, was because of how things were broken down, and not really explained in a certain way. A lot of people feel like you got to have a degree. in digital marketing, or you have to have a certification in order to be successful. Y'all ain't got none of that shit. Okay. I just took a chance, baby, with a little bit of prayer. And I did my research. I invested in myself, and I took the time to actually learn these skills. But for a mama who's like, hey, oblivious to what digital marketing is, and you don't truly understand what it is, sis, you do it every single day. And the sad part about it is people don't realize you do it every single day and you don't get paid for it. And something as simple as, girl, if you sharing Beyonce post about sacred shampoo and conditioner or whatever like that, well, what if your homegirl seen that? What if your cousin seen it and she clicked the link and bought it? You just put some money in Beyonce pocket. Not that we got a problem putting money in Beyonce pocket, but I'm just saying, y'all, that's a form of digital marketing. When you online complaining or talking crazy or beefing with somebody or whatever like that, that's a form of marketing. You know what I mean? And that's all that I do. That's all that the moms inside of my community do. And we take everyday moments and we turn it into content, and we turn the content into a message that converts with our audience, which is moms. And that brings in sales, and that allows me to make anywhere on average from about like $500 to about $3,000 a day. That's usually like my go-to average. But even as beginners, that can be your average, if not more. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be willing to say, you know what, I'm worth the investment. I deserve this life. I deserve a soft life. I don't have to work hard. You know what I mean? And again, like, I think that sometimes it's not necessarily us as moms. It could be the people that's around us feeling like, oh, how dare you dream too damn big? Or how dare you think that you can have a life of ease when you should, sis? You brought life into this world. You are a problem solver. You literally do this every single day, running a business, and especially a digital marketing business with all these tools and resources that we have. There shouldn't be a problem. There shouldn't be an issue. So like I said, I try to get on here every day and, drop little gems and stuff like that. Cause again, I'm really passionate about helping people, regardless if you pay me or not, right? I'm gonna put you on, I'm gonna give you free game. Like,